Hi, we are the Mars Robotics Association. We live in Mars, PA. We are going to be talking about a problem which is not going outside enough.
An increased problem in today's society is kids not going outside. This is increased because of the pandemic that's going on right now. In our story, we see that the mom is telling her son to go outside, but the son doesn't want to go outside. Then the mom asks a Mars robotics engineer for a solution, and luckily he has a solution. Then we see that the Mars robotics engineer explains his solution, which is an app that helps kids go outside by rewarding them. Then the mom is super curious. She wants to know more about this app. So the engineer explains it. He says that this app helps kids by rewarding them with achievements. Then the mom is super curious. What achievements are there? And the engineer explains that achievements could include getting rewards such as new characters or real life rewards like books and toys. So the mom is super excited to use this app. And we see that this app has helped the kid, and he starts going outside and playing with his mom.
The average adult heart rate while resting is from 60 to 100 beats per minute. The average adult heart rate while active is from 150 to 180 beats per minute. If you do not have a heart tracker, just take your pulse through your neck or your wrist. Then just count that for 1 minute. If you constantly have a heart rate over 100, you should talk to a doctor. This may lead to having a higher risk for diseases. Weather, hydration, sleep, and climate all affect what your heart rate is and when it will be there. On the slide, there is a chart where we did a test. We exercised around for the red bar, and as you can see, most of our heart rates are the same while resting and active. And most of our heart rates we did in a second attempt, and they were almost all the same because we're all almost the same age.
Solution. You can track your heart rate or how much time you exercise. If they reach their goals of exercising, then you can give them in-game and out-game rewards, such as money, new levels, advancements, and even screen time. If you do this, they will be motivated to keep exercising, therefore their health will increase. The app's icon symbolizes its use of heart rate to track your physical activity and give you rewards. We would have something to track heart rate, which would need to connect to a watch or a phone. This is an exercise log, a log to track exercise and goals. If you complete your quote-unquote goal that you set, then you can get rewards. You can compete with other people in a competition. You can set competitions, or you can join others to compete for prizes. Don't like competing with others? Then you can try to get personal bests and high scores with solo competition.
We talked to two people. The first one was Miss Sherman from the university called Pitt. She's the assistant professor of practice department of health and human development. We also talked to Gwendolyn Sudak, who is conditioning to complete a 100-mile long run.
Good.
Hardware designs for QB.
Compactness means it maneuvers better on the game table without running into things. Strength means it travels well, it's predictable in performance. The wheels are held on both sides so that the axle doesn't flex. And there's an exoskeleton of panels and frames that gives it sheer strength for protecting sensors and wiring. Full package of motors means that there's 2 medium motors in the drive attachments, 2 large motors for the robot, and 2 light sensors for flexibility and the line following and squaring up on mounted optimal distance from the ground and shrouded by the exoskeleton for consistency. Gyro mounted between drive wheels for compactness. Easy remove bricks just means that we can access the micro SD card slot easily and easy to replace brick if there is a problem with the brick.
Programming or software, Team 37356, the Galactic Martians. Mindstorm or Python. This year in FLL, First Like a League, we were given the option to switch which coding language we were using. We ended up switching to Python. While using Python, we learned a lot. Like you can use classes and methods instead of having to rewrite code over and over again. Python also gives us the option of using Bluetooth and not having to keep the port accessible and deal with the USB wire. Because of COVID-19, we had to deal with working from home. In case we went virtual, we decided to start using GitHub, where we can store our code and access it at home and at Robotics. We did end up going on virtual several times. We also learned how to code branches, which helps in case you're working on the same thing, but you don't want it to mess up the code in case you make a mistake. We also ended up refining a lot of our different things, like our line follower. We added proportional gain and a data log to help us see what we were doing wrong and why it was so wiggly. We also refined our calibration system so that we can now set the parameters in the code, or we developed an at-the-field calibration system.
Because it wouldn't light because there's no air. So let's take a map of moons. There's no air. And we're going to need water. We don't need water. Yes, we have all this stuff in our food concentrate. No.
Survive. You gotta get to that lunar base.
No, we do not need candy.
We do.
We probably need a battery because we
No, it's
need
not one. We need one singular whole double A battery. We definitely
Well, actually,
need
it
water.
depends.
Wait.
Wait,
Wait,
that
what
doesn't
does it
have a battery.
Screwdrivers don't need batteries.
Oh, no, but wait, but it depends on what.
Yeah, if we have something that we need a battery.
So, how well does your team work together?
We've worked on software, hardware, we've done core value exercising, including like remembering what your partner made and trying to recreate it. So we've worked together with partners and we've worked on making designs together. So yeah, many things.
In your own words, would you say that your team has a high or a very good ability to work together?
Well, in this, I would say yes, because we work together in many different areas to create the bot, because we use different attachments and figured out where to put what and how they contradict with each other, and we adapted to those changes and made a good robot that works with all attachments.
You mentioned contradicting each other. If you, say, had an argument between two people, how would that be settled?
Well, I think the two people would come up to a settlement, and if they don't, well, The argument could be like on attachments and other stuff, and that could just be solved by finding a way to put an attachment on a different part of the robot, and they could be solved in different ways. We could bring in other members of the team to help us solve the problem.
How well would you say that your team works together?
I would say our team works very well, and that we are a great team overall because we have overcome many challenges ourselves.
If I may ask, what are some of these challenges that you have faced this season?
Well, we worked on hardware, we worked on trying to present, and we worked on core values and teamwork skills.
What would you say was the hardest part about working together as a team?
Well, aspects could include getting all the parts on one robot, because we didn't know how all the attachments could fit on different parts of the robot, and also the software was pretty hard since we switched to Python this year, so it was a little harder than normal. So we've overcome many challenges, including software and hardware.
If you had an argument or a disagreement, how would that be solved?
Usually the arguments or disagreements would be about how to put on attachments on the robot. So we just find different ways to attach to the robot.